So the big question is this: how do you lose all the weight that you want and actually keep it off for the rest of your life, while trying to make sense of all the noise that comes from the weight loss industry? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
G'day guys, and welcome to the next episode of the Weight Loss Secrets podcast. My name is Baron Grant and I'm here today to share another tip, another trick, another idea, something that's going to be able to help you to make changes in your life to be able to lose all the weight you're after and keep it off. That's what we're all about here. And if you are really wanting to make big change in your life, then I encourage you to go to ditchingthediet.com, where you can download a copy of my new book. You can jump on a program, you can chat with me on the phone, you just click the button on the top right hand corner and you can book a time to chat with me directly on the phone. And we can go through where you're at and what changes you need to make and see whether I can be the guy to support you and help you on that journey. All right, so before I jump into the topic, I want to tell a story. And it's kind of how I do for lots of these podcasts, but I think things happen in our lives and there's always lessons to learn from those stories. So this story is something that's happened in the last week in our family, last week and a half, I guess. We've never had a dog in our family. I grew up with a dog myself, but we've never had a dog in our home. And after quite a lot of discussion over many years, we decided that now was the time to get a dog. I question sometimes that was good sense, but we've jumped in and we're in. And so what do you do now, right? So we get this dog. I got it from a friend of mine. It is a Kelpie cross Staffy. So it is a stunning little dog. I know it's not going to remain little for very long, but it's a stunning little dog. And so we brought her home. So everyone's excited. You know, I've got 5 kids and everyone's super excited that we've got this new little dog. So her name is Twix. And after she came home, it was all, everything's great. I'll sleep with her. That's so good. We'll take care of her. It's going to be great. After the first day, I was like, I don't know if this dog's going to make it through today. I was like, this is hard. My gosh, we've had 5 children and you forget having a little baby of sorts. This little puppy is only 8 weeks old. They don't know what they want. They've just been brought away from their family. And so we're in a situation where I'm literally going crazy. I work from home all day and my head was about to explode because I'm like, I can't deal with this whining all day long. I've got to work. I'm on phone calls. I can't do it. And so we just started having some discussions in our house about, can we do this? And I'm the guy that's going, well, yeah, it's just a dog. Let's just sell it. We don't need it. Which sounds terrible. I'm like, let's just move it on to a family that can take better care of it. I don't have the headspace for it. And so I was in this moment of like, what have I done? I've got this dog and I don't know that I want to really have a dog in this house. To be fair, before we bought the dog, I was like, I don't know if I really want to get a dog. All the stuff, you got to clean up poo in the backyard. You got to do this. You got to feed them every night. All these different things that happen with dogs. And I was like, we're busy. I don't know how we're going to fit this in. Anyway, long story short, we ended up having this big discussion the other morning about whether we're going to keep the dog, and which was led by me. And anyway, so then the heat went out of the discussion. Everyone went their ways off to school and whatever else. And then Davina, my wife, she had a chat with me and I said my piece again. And she goes, you know what? Something I want to say to you. And she said, we don't quit on stuff. As our family, we just don't. We don't quit on stuff. When things are hard, we just keep going. That's who we are and that's who we want to be. And she said, I don't want our children to learn that it's okay to quit when it gets a little bit tough. And I went, of course. Smart Davina once again schools me on something. I mean, she wasn't trying to be like that, but the thing that she said really resonated with me and I went, you're dead right. So Baron, stop being ridiculous, man up, get it done and train this dog to be a champion. So that's how I've tried to change my attitude over the last few days. But I think it applies to almost every area of our lives. Things are hard in life. Things get really tough sometimes and we might be in a situation where we have to make a choice about whether it's too hard and it's not worth the end game to do the work to finish off whatever it is that we want to do. But the thing that stood out to me with what Davina said was, I don't want to teach my kids that it's okay to quit on stuff. So I want you to think about you and your journey on weight loss. Are you quitting on stuff? And I know I've mentioned this before, but it really stuck with me this week as Davina mentioned these things. And if you're a parent, what are you teaching your kids about this stuff? I know that I was the example of someone who wasn't going to teach the kids the right things in this situation. I needed Davina to come and tell me, no, oi, let's not do this. Let's not quit on this really easy. Weight loss is one of those things where you can quit really, really easy. When the scales don't go down for 2 weeks or 1 week or 3 weeks or whatever, it's super easy to go, this doesn't work. I quit. The dog was screaming and crying and I was like, this doesn't work. I want to quit. I didn't yet. I was close, but I didn't. And I feel better for the decision. Now I know that there's going to be days that are going to still be really tough and not going to be comfortable because there's a total new person or new creature in our environment. And we've got to build that creature into our life, that dog into our lives so that it becomes part of our family. It's just like that with losing weight. When you've been eating foods that are not healthy, let's just say you have been eating lots of chocolate, lots of chips and all those things are not healthy, but they're comfortable. My life without the dog was really comfortable. I know what I did in the morning. I didn't have to worry about anything else, care for anything else. All my kids are big enough now, they take care of themselves, getting themselves ready for school and whatever else. It's the same with weight loss, right? When you're eating those foods that are comfortable, you know your process, you know your structure, you know your things. But when you start to blend in new foods, better foods, healthier foods, the right foods for weight loss, everything kind of shifts. Everything changes. You know what? You have to prepare. You got to cut stuff up. I got to prepare dog food, put it in a bowl and put it out for the dog and make sure that the dog doesn't pee inside and take her outside and make sure she pees outside. These are all things that are uncomfortable to me, but if we don't do it, we won't have a well-trained dog long term. When you start to make changes to your food, if you don't do the right things consistently, you won't train your body to make the changes it needs to be healthy. And so sometimes even when it's tough, we just can't quit. Lance Armstrong, with all his drug cheating and the type of bloke that he was, he did say something that I loved, which was pain is temporary, quitting is forever. And so we don't want to quit and start again and quit and start again and quit and start again. We just want to change for good. And so when you think about your weight loss journey, I want you to think, how can I make this stick now? How can I be in this game, make the change, you go, it's too important, I'm not going to go back. And just because it gets hard, just because the dog's crying, just because it's scratching things and chewing things and biting things and trying to eat your face off, that's what it feels like. Sometimes this puppy just tries to eat your face off. But it doesn't mean you quit on it. And it doesn't mean you quit on your food. Just because you got to prepare it, just because you got to get up a little bit earlier and go for a walk, just because you got to do X, Y, and Z that you're not comfortable doing right now, doesn't mean that you quit on it. It just means that you do it. Then when you do it, those are new habits. Your palate changes. You have a new palate. Your body craves the better food because you've changed your habits. So that's my message for today. Pain is temporary, quitting is forever. And just like I shouldn't have even thought about giving up the dog and quitting on that, because that's not the best approach and not the way I should teach my kids how to be resilient and be strong and not quit. I don't think we should quit on this weight loss journey, and you shouldn't quit on yours. If it's tough, that's okay. Do it tough. And if you do it tough for a while, you see the value of what you're trying to achieve, and you'll be more grateful once you get there. You can do it. Don't quit on this journey. You got this. Stay on the path, make the good decisions, be consistent. And when you do that, you're going to win. We'll chat tomorrow.